Jogada do Neymar, saiu do primeiro, saiu do segundo, Neymar, outra finta, pé direito, segurou, bateu, gol!
When it comes to Neymar Jr., many people believed after Lionel Messi and Cristiano leaves, he was destined to step in as the best player in the world. But as his career unfolded, Neymar's story became more complicated. Instead of standing shoulder to shoulder with the likes of Ronaldo, Nazario, Ronaldinho as the best Brazilian players ever, he has clearly never reached his potential. And this is not because his lack of talent, but it's because of his decisions, his injuries, and perhaps the way he played the game. Neymar's rise to superstardom started at Santos FC when he was 17. From the moment he stepped onto the field, it was very clear this guy is not a normal player. He was a generational talent. I am not exaggerating when I tell you he was the best dribbler in the world at the time. People will say Lionel Messi, but for me, Neymar at that time, 2011, even when he was at Santos, he was the best dribbler I've ever seen since Ronaldinho. You know, at that young age, you don't usually see prospects scoring over 40 goals in a season. And that's exactly what he did in 2011. Neymar's finest achievement came in 2011 when he led the club to their first ever Copa Libertadores trophy since Pelé. He scored 6 goals in that tournament. In 2011 and 2012, he was named South America Player of the Year.
Aí o Léo. Neymar. Facilidade do Neymar. Vai levitando o jogador do Santos. Aí o Neymar. Protegeu. Fez o drible. Que lance do Neymar! Que golaço!
Taken on all comers, feeds it to Neymar. Neymar steadies himself. Oh, took a deflection! Now there is a way to introduce yourself into it. The name of Neymar goes down in the history books.
In 2013, Barcelona bought Neymar for 57 million. This fee was considered one of the most significant transfers at that time. At just 21 years old, he was coming into at that time was the best club in the world with the best midfield in the world and the best player in the world, Lionel Messi. But as his time went on in Barcelona, his time there would show Neymar's story is a mix of brilliance, frustration, and sometimes a lack of discipline, which may lead him to why he's one of the most disappointing players in football history. Now, the 2014-15 season saw Neymar really show why Barcelona bought him. He was a major factor in Barcelona's treble-winning season, winning the La Liga, the Copa del Rey, and the Champions League. He scored in the Champions League final and delivered consistent performances all across the season, scoring 39 goals. That year, Messi and Luis Suarez and Neymar formed the best trio in football history, called MSN, which terrorizes the whole defense in Europe. The trio combined for a record-breaking 122 goals that season. Now let's fast forward to 2016-17 season. Although Neymar had multiple performances where he was the best player in that pitch, his best performances came in the Champions League second leg against PSG, whereas they were losing 4-0 in the first leg. He scored a brace and 2 assists in the 6-1 comeback, which is still today the greatest comeback in the history of the sport. But this season is where the problem started. Despite clearly being one of the best players in the world, he was always in Messi's shadow. In that performance I just told you, where he was clearly the best player in the pitch against PSG, the whole headline at the end was talking about how brilliant Lionel Messi is. And this frustration is the reason why he left Barcelona in 2017.
It's Neymar. Brilliant! Absolutely brilliant!
Neymar made one of the most shocking transfers in football history. He left Barcelona for PSG. It was 222 million. At the time, that was the most expensive transfer in history and still right now. He wanted to have his own team where he was the star. All of the headlines was about him. Neymar quickly made an impact in France, winning multiple Ligue 1s and becoming the most influential player in France. Although he was the biggest star, and there was still one youngster who sometimes overshadowed him. His name is Kylian Mbappe. The French wonder kid just came off winning a World Cup at the age of 19 years of age. Mbappe's rapid development made him the most important player in PSG. Once again, Neymar, the reason why he ran at Barcelona is the same problem he has with PSG now. He did have his season in 2020 where he was the best player in the world. He led PSG single-handedly to the Champions League final where they lost by a single goal against Bayern Munich. It depends on who you talk to, whether Neymar succeeded at PSG because of the amount of trophies he won, but you can also criticize it by saying he didn't win the single reason why they bought him, which is the Champions League. Despite all of the potential in the world, he never fully reached his potential, and several key factors as we conclude this is the Messi shadow, his injuries, lack of discipline, going to a new team and still having a new player overshadow you, being unable to deliver in big moments. These are just few reasons why Neymar Jr. is clearly the most disappointing player in the history of football. Like and subscribe and see you later, man.